Nicholas Moreano is standing by. Been a busy day there. Got Matt Eberflus talking, Caleb Williams talking, DJ Moore talking, and the locker room as well as practice underway. Nick, where do we start? What do we need to know?
Let's start with Caleb Williams, you guys. And, Baldy made the comment that he gets smarter watching the Rams. I wonder how he feels about watching Shane Waldron in the Bears offense, but we'll leave that for a little bit later. Let's start with Caleb Williams. And, with the Bears playing the Rams, Matthew Stafford is somebody that, he idolizes. And one of the reasons why he mentioned in his press conference today is like how he controls the game, knows how to get in and out of things efficiently, knows where the offense and defensive players are, and move defenders different arm angles. So as we're kind of watching Caleb Williams, I wonder if he almost subconsciously thinks about like how Matthew Stafford also has played the game and wants to implement that into what he's doing. We know he has a lot of control at the line of scrimmage, but he likes how Matthew Stafford plays the game. And if he plays it that way, I think the Bears offense will be in the right spot. But the word that came last week that's still resurfacing this week after 2 consecutive losses is communication. And what does that look like exactly when communicating in game, out of game, after you go watch film? And what Caleb Williams was saying, it starts with him. And then when they're on the field, then, drives are not going. It's like just communicating with those guys effectively. But it's also communicating what the team runs well. And I found that interesting when Caleb brought that up. Like, you want to run things that are really comfy is the word that he used. He wants to run things that are comfy. And so with that, Shane Waldron and Caleb actually had a conversation about what that kind of means. And, Caleb was asked, did Shane ask for your input on that? Like, what do you feel like is comfy? And Caleb said that, after this past game, they had a more in-depth conversation about what those concepts, those plays could be that are more comfortable for the personnel that they have. And I think that's going to be something that hopefully helps this offense, because obviously we know that there are some things that have not gone right for the Bears offensively this season after 3 games.
That's interesting, because that definitely caught my ear at one point where Caleb said that going to the sidelines in the right way of communicating stood out to me, because there was a clip that was making its rounds and it caught my attention during the television broadcast where Caleb comes off the field after a 3rd and 4 where he overthrows Rome Odunze on the left side. It seems like Caleb just missed the throw, but he comes off the field yelling at, I believe, Kerry Joseph, and it looks like he says to him, "What are we doing?" That's I'm no expert lip reader, but it did feel like he said that to him. So it's interesting to hear him talk about that they're going deeper into the communication levels, with how they're going to get on the same page. Go ahead, Carm. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, but you know what this all comes down to, and this was what Baldy was talking about too. Yeah. I know I say this every year, but there's no such thing as a good offensive coordinator with a bad offensive line.
True.
You can't call plays unless guys are blocking. So it's a great point Baldy just brought up. It's like, yeah, Cliff Kingsbury, Jaden Daniels, their offensive line's been great.
Well, and Nick, what was your read on that with the announcement that Darnell Wright's got a back issue, and Flus saying things like he doesn't want to be playing musical chairs, but he's looking for his best 5?
Yeah, no, I mean, I do truly believe that he is still looking for his best 5. And, Matt Pryor was a guy that got brought up as somebody that obviously played last game and starting for Nate Davis. And he was asked, did you see enough from Matt Pryor to keep him at right guard? And Matt Eberflus said, we thought Pryor did a nice job, firm pocket, nice job blocking at times. And if you watch the film completely, like obviously there were some plays that Matt Pryor had that he wishes he had back. There was a twist that he didn't pick up. One of the sacks you can credit to Pryor. But they're going to see how that goes with the injury to Darnell Wright. But that maybe creates, opportunities for guys like Karan Amagaji, who Matt Eberflus was saying is looking really good, is, one of the options there at the tackle spot. But obviously Matt Pryor does have some flexibility as well going from guard to tackle. So they're going to monitor that and see how, Darnell Wright does this week with that back injury.
Question for you guys. Do you know which Indianapolis Colt got the sack and beat Matt Pryor on that one sack that was credited to Pryor?
No, is it from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Oh.
At Atamawa Adebawore.
Yeah. My guy.
Your guy.
We talked about him a lot in our draft shows.
We did. We talked about that guy for 4 months and haven't mentioned him since.
but we really
Just
got a lot
until he
of
played the Bears.
we got a lot of value out of that conversation.
Nick, between what you saw on film, 'cause I know you go back and watch the games probably multiple times, and what DJ Moore said on the first passing play from Caleb to DJ, where DJ runs deep, Caleb looks like he's throwing short, to a spot that DJ is no longer at. DJ says, I guess I'll take responsibility on that, but it didn't feel like he was saying that very defiantly, like whether or not he actually meant that. So I'm trying to pick through the weeds here on your interpretation of his answer today and between that and what you saw on film.
Well, Greg, that would be a great question for our guy Patrick Norton, because I was in the locker room during DJ's press conference, but I'll have to go back and watch it to see exactly. But again, there was miscommunication. I think that, that's been something that we've seen obviously, through the first 3 games. There's been miscommunication, not from just DJ, but even when you go back and watch the film, there are a couple of screenplays that DeAndre Swift, they had it blocked up, but for whatever reason, Swift wasn't exactly where Caleb needed him to be on these short passes. And again, things that need to get cleaned up. But one of the things that Matt Eberflus was asked about, is there some type of overhaul in need here? And he didn't want to go that far. He wanted to more so just say you got to work back on, again, cleaning up those fundamentals. Again, communication was brought up a lot in today's press conference, like it was last week. So I think it's just cleaning up some of the things offensively, and then hopefully you don't see as many of those miscues on offense.
I'll back Braggs up on the fact that was my reaction watching that live was, I fully believe DJ Moore's taking the blame on that one. However, it does match with what I'm watching on tape, which is what the corner has inside leverage on him. The stop route makes more sense to me there than continuing to go. So I understand why Caleb threw it there. Now, here's what I like DJ Moore's answer regardless. Okay, either it was DJ Moore's fault, which means the rookie quarterback was right. That's probably good.
Take that.
Yeah. Or the rookie quarterback was wrong, and DJ Moore is being a very good veteran and captain taking the blame for him.
Win-win.
So I feel like either way, it might be a little bit of a spin zone there, but because
it's the greatest miscommunication in Bears football history.
The preference would be second play of the game. Let's just
if we're ranking the miscommunications the Bears are having right now, that was the best.
That was a really good one.
Nick, what do you got on Roschon Johnson?
Yeah, one of the things that he was asked about just when talking with the media today is, again, what is going on with the run game? And here's what he had to say, just paraphrasing his words here. You have to stay true to our reads. Don't do anything outside of what we're taught. Don't get outside of the technique. Got to keep knocking it forward, and it'll pop. And guys, we watch this rushing attack, and there's still plays where offensive linemen are getting out to block, but for whatever reason, they're just not putting hands on guys. And I don't know what the main cause of that is, but they do just have to go back to super basic, block somebody, put hands on somebody, get in front of somebody. And I think that can, help there. He was also asked, Roschon Johnson, what do you bring to his rushing attack? Because I think we saw some good things in the 8 rushing attempts that he had against the Colts. But in simple words, he just brings physicality, downhill running, and I think the Bears can use a little bit more of that in this offense to try to see if they can get the rushing attack going.
Yeah, a quick memo to Roschon. You can branch out from the things the Bears have taught you. Go ahead.
Also, the reason I laughed was because I think we should just go around the whole locker room, just asking every player on offense, what's going on here?
Right.
Why is this happening to me?
Let's get Emma with me, and I'll go around the microphone and I'll go around the locker room and ask those questions.
Idea.
What's going
on
on
with your offense?
All right. Nick, you got another Die Hard article coming up here?
Yeah, I do. So I went around and asked a couple of the offensive players just the difference in running under center as opposed to shotgun and just what that does for an offense. And I think I got some pretty cool things that you're going to have to find out and read about. But I asked Tyson Bagent as the quarterback, what's the difference? And he said here, he's simple. So again, I'll go back to Braxton Jones real quick. He described under center running almost as being simple in a way. You know what you're going to do. There's not as many options if you're in the gun. And then Tyson Bagent was simple is fast, and fast is usually good. Not recreating the game by any means, just everyone's running the same kind of stuff. So there's a difference But there is also a different mentality that it takes as a running back to run from the gun as opposed to downhill. So you can read all about that in the article that I'll have out later today if you're a diehard. So join right now.
There it is, allchgo.com/diehard. Nick, good stuff from Halas. And we'll talk to you later. Nicholas Moreano.
All right, you guys.
We all silly like the mayor.